I'm really disappointed. Us drop points against Manchester United. FSG out. If you cannot compete with Manchester United, Chelsea, and Manchester City to spend to make us be one of the biggest club in world football consistently, you need to sell. Club, please tell the fans the truth. You have to take some blame for this poor form too. Tell us the truth. We need a centre back. We make so much money over the years. So much money for the last 4 years. We make so much money. And we cannot spend in this January market and buy a centre back for 20 or 30 million to make us defend our Premier League title back to back. Club, you have to take some blame for our poor form. Haven't win in our last 4 games. Haven't scored in our last 3 games. We haven't created a lot of opportunity. Clearly, we have the 2 best central midfielder. We have them playing centre back. It's taking away from our game. The midfield is very weak. We're not creating a lot of opportunity. What's going on with Salah and Mane and Roberto Firmino? Club, listen, man. Behave yourself. Start to make the change quick enough. Make the change early enough to give us our chance to win the game. It takes so long to make the change. Why wrong with you, club? You is one of costing us the game, our performance this season. You, club, because of your poor decision to make Jota get injured in the Champions League. And also, you come back today again and making late change. I'm done with this. I am not confident right now.
Kopish, 0-0 draw against Man Utd tonight, and we all hyped up this week that it was going to be non-stop entertainment, pure goals and end-to-end stuff. We didn't get that tonight. What we got, to be fair to Man Utd, they took the draw. They got what they wanted. They defended well, and they got what a point needed at Anfield going forward. But for us, I'm more frustrated tonight than a loss. It feels like a loss to me. And where's our shots on target coming from? Where are these shots? Where are these shots from last year? For the past 3 years? I have not seen them. Where are they? Salah off form again. Firmino. What is going on, Firmino? Especially Mane. You know, you can't just... I don't think at this point you can't just blame the defence. They kept a clean sheet. Henderson did all right back there with Fabinho. And yes, we do need a centre back. But it's not, I don't think it's at the back. I think it's just at the front. You know, yeah, Thiago, I think he's going to need time to, he's a world-class player, right? He's going to need time to adjust to that role. Fabinho did that, and it worked well for him. Thiago just needs time to get into that role, but he will come good. The front three, though, for me, Jota for me puts them away, and I don't know how, it's going to work going forward. I just don't. I'm worrying at this point. Burnley, that if it's going to be a similar result, then what's the point in getting the title? So, why not make top 4? By the way I'm looking at it. I don't know about you, so I'm a bit worried at this point for the club. If we don't get our act together and scoring goals, then you have to question this team going forward. But I'm keeping the faith. I always keep the faith in this team, and they have to act quickly if we want to retain this league or go for a Champions League. It's just, please wake up, Liverpool. Please wake up. Get them goals in, and the front three need to wake up. I swear to God, they're not the front three I've been seeing for the past while. They have to wake up. We move on to Burnley, but please, Liverpool, just get it sorted out. Come on, you never walk alone.
Going on, guys. As I'm going for a walk, I thought I'd give my humble opinion on yesterday's game. Don't mind the mask. People are scared nowadays. I might give the, through the screen, so I thought I'd wear a mask. Now, you know what? It's no trim, Lockdown, no trim thing, that's why. But anyway, back to the game. I was expecting that. I was actually expecting a loss. People say, how could you say that about your team? Well, if your team in a bad form and, you know football a little bit, you can expect or think your team might lose. Yeah, so shut up. I think we're going to draw the Burnley game. Wow, how could you say that? Well, that's because we're in bad form. The reason why we're going to draw the Burnley game, because our players, they don't want to score goals. In a football game, to win it, from the age of, I think, 6, I knew you have to score goals. But our players, what they want to do, they go to the side, put it in the box. If no one's there, put a back pass, go to the side, put it in the box, no one's there. You know what? I can swear right now. But I'm not gonna. All of them, they're in a bad form. Fatigued. Mentally fatigued. Klopp has lost his head. He should have at least started Origi in the middle instead of Firmino, and bring on Firmino in the second half, no problem. But now, it's the credit in the bank that's keeping them there. So, yeah, I think season so far, obviously, it's all over the place. When Jota comes, it'll be a bit too late. It's not going to be enough. Probably mid-February. That time City is going to be running away. City has come to the lockdown house party late in style, mate. And they're going to run away. All these other lot, they're just pretenders, man. You know, they're scums, United scums. I wasn't even worried about them, like, winning the league. They're not going to win nothing, mate. Anyway, guys, keep positive. Keep active. Keep mentally active as well. Don't be down about Liverpool. If you love your team, win or lose, you never walk alone.
Alright, what's good, Kopish, Matt, Callum, Drifty, hope you guys are well. So, yeah, we've drawn to Manchester United. On the face of it, it's a disappointing result. We've drawn, we haven't won, it's at Anfield. You know, we're entitled to be a bit disappointed, but you've got to factor in a few things, and you've got to factor in that, A, we had 2 centre mids or 2 CDMs, whatever one you call it, playing at the back. Manchester United's away form has been very, very good. They've been playing very, very well this season. Their attack has looked very, very dangerous. And we've been very off form. Our previous results, you know, have not necessarily kind of lifted our confidence of the players. So, you know, there's several things you've got to take into account, which means that this result isn't actually the worst in the world. Like, let's be real. Manchester United are on good form, makeshift defence. They could have easily won this game, especially if you take into account the chances that Fernandes and Pogba had. Obviously, if you look at the overall balance of play, I do think a draw is the fair result. And you know, we could have been stronger, more precise, more accurate with our possession in the final third in the first half. But the reason why it's especially disappointing is because of our previous results against Fulham, West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle. That is why this game, or that is why winning this game was a must, because we need to reclaim the points that we dropped. I'm sorry to say, but there should have been more of an outrage, or there should be more frustration. I cannot understand why people weren't frustrated when we dropped points to Fulham and West Brom, because I could see this. And the fact is, the reality is, we're not as good as we were this season, which means we really need to try and put an emphasis on these games against the smaller teams to win them. So therefore, it kind of reduces the pressure against the bigger teams. Against Southampton away is a tough game. United at home, Spurs away, it reduces the pressure. Obviously, that's in the past now. You can't do anything about it, which means that we now have to get 12 out of 12 points going into the City game. Like, if we want to win the title, that's what we have to do. Because that wouldn't be the case if we'd won those previous games. And obviously, Gomez and Van Dijk being injured does not help at all. You can see there's a complete kind of system change. You can see it's had an impact on our ability to build up play, our ability to keep possession. It's had an impact on the position of our wing backs, or full backs, whatever you want to call it. It's had an impact on our decision making in the midfield. It's had an impact on how creative and how dynamic we are up front. That being said, with Henderson and Fabinho playing at the back, we should have won our previous games. Or regardless of whoever we had at the back, we should have won, and we should be good enough to have won that with a makeshift defence. Against Newcastle, Fulham, West Brom, Southampton, that type of stuff. 1 or 2 of those games we should have won. But regardless, we kind of have a bit of a serious problem, and that problem is our front three are not performing, particularly Salah and Firmino. They're not being precise enough. They're not being accurate enough. They're not looking as dangerous. They're not looking as threatening. They're not being as clinical. That's just the observation, and you shouldn't be scared to kind of point that out. And so how does that get solved? Well, obviously, I think that would be solved if Gomez and Van Dijk came straight back into the team, because it would free up Trent and Robertson to do their stuff, in more advanced positions. But, well, how does that get solved? Well, I think it comes down to Thiago, and that's why I'm so positive about Thiago, because he's shown in the last few games that he's capable of opening up a defence. He's capable of playing that killer pass, and Salah and Firmino need to kind of attend to him. They need to be making runs as soon as Thiago gets the ball. They need to be looking for the space, and they need to take more care with the ball, because it's not like we're not getting into those dangerous situations. It's that final pass. It's that confidence in taking a man on. It's that, half a second or half a space where we have a shot. They've got to be more potent. And it's costing us. It's costing us. Now, last season and the season before, what we were able to do very successfully was win games, grind them out, win games when we weren't necessarily performing so well. Drawing up until 75 minutes, we were able to score a late goal. We haven't been able to do that this season. So it's seemingly like either when we're playing badly, we either draw, or we can only win when we play comfortably. We've got to start to change that, and the key to our solution is a centre back. A centre back frees up everything. It frees up Fabinho. It frees up Henderson. I can't believe we're not getting one in. It's so the solution. It so is the solution, because you get a proper centre back playing with Matip or Fabinho or whatever, give Matip a bit of a rest in between the weeks. It just frees up everything. I can't believe we're not getting one. Well, obviously maybe there's still a chance, but it's bizarre. It's so bizarre. It just doesn't make sense to me that we were not trying to get a solution. Anyone with functional legs, anyone with a bit of experience, anyone with a bit of ability in the air who's strong, it would help us so massively. Now, I think the only route we have to a trophy realistically is probably the FA Cup, which is why that game against Manchester United next week is so huge. It's so big. That's our only realistic opportunity for a trophy, and that's just the truth. I cannot believe people bought into this idea that we were still favourites when Van Dijk and Gomez got injured. That just wasn't the case. And whilst in the short term when they got injured we were doing okay, now the long term impacts of their absence, we're feeling that. So yeah, look, it's all a bit messy. It's all a bit frustrating. It's all a bit pissing us all off. But we've got to just hope they can get back to playing some good football. And the Spurs away game is massive. I know we got to beat Burnley. I'm pretty sure we will. I hope. But that Spurs away game is huge. Every time we play Spurs, it's seeming like a must-win. It's another must-win game. Right? There's no two ways about it. There's no room for error now. The room for error would have been able... we would have had room for error if we had won those previous games against Southampton, Fulham, West Brom, Newcastle. But that doesn't exist anymore. So we've got to get 12 out of 12 points before we play Manchester City at home. But, yeah, come on, the boys. You know what? We're Liverpool. Still, in my opinion, the greatest team on the planet. And if it doesn't happen this season, it will happen next season. Come on, boys. You'll never walk alone.